Hello kittens! Recently a brand new game trailer caught my eye and I thought since a lot of you here are fans of Monster Hunter and Monster Hunter stories, I should really talk about this game. There's a little bit of other splashes of influence I see there as well, like Genshin Impact and Breath of the Wild, so why not check it out together? Volzerk Monsters and Lands Unknown is described as a monster breeding and action RPG game. So first of all, let's go ahead and watch the trailer together.
このプラから本格アクション RPG 登場。広大な大地でモンスターを探索し、テクニックを駆使してモンスターを撃退。やっそして心を通わせて仲間に。さらに後輩によってもっと強いモンスターを生み出せる。未知なるモンスターを求めて強敵に挑め。
Do you see why I got excited about the trailer and why it reminded me of Monster Hunter Stories 2? We've got egg hatching, we've got monster capturing and taming, we've also got similar looking quest boards and also just the way it's stylized as well. There should be some images on screen just to highlight those comparisons that I was mentioning though. But let's go ahead and go over to the Steam page. For those of you just watching this as background noise, don't worry, I've got you. I'm going to be reading out the full Steam page description. There's also a link down below in the video description as well. So here we are at the Steam page. So first of all, there is a notice to declare that English language is not supported at this time. The game is coming soon, and I do believe it will be releasing in English eventually. So first of all, let's go through the screenshots before we read out the full description, and I will be giving my thoughts and impressions as I go along reading this description as well. So this is the first screenshot. This is the one that gave me real Breath of the Wild vibes actually. It reminded me of those goblins just hanging out in the grass that you had to go fight. Kind of like, I guess it's the face in the design. Something I do want to point out as well while watching the trailer is we've only ever seen combat take place on top of the monster, so I don't know if you can dismount and use a separate weapon, but it does look like all combat takes place on top of the monster partner that you are using though from the trailer. So here is a second screenshot. This monster gave me Raytheon vibes. It's a pretty badass looking monster actually, and I do hope it's one we can tame. Next here we have a spider monster. Again, we can actually see the character on top of the monster using some kind of magic attack. So once again, we are not dismounted here. This is just fighting it on the back of the monster. And this particular spider reminded me of Nursilla. I know that it's not super similar in design, but any spider monster reminds me of that particular monster. Okay, so this is our main character, Fina. I do apologise if that is a mispronunciation. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I really like the character designs and the outfits. They are vivid, they are bright, they are colourful, and I suppose this is what in particular reminded me of Genshin Impact was the character designs. So here we have a big image of the quest board, which is something that really gave me Monster Hunter vibes. We've even got some kind of character, I guess maybe a quest giver behind the counter there on the right hand side. So maybe that's where you initiate the quest and then you go over to the quest board and select it. Or perhaps the board itself is just for extra quests like side quests from villagers or something like that. We'll just have to see on that. But the design here is very, very much reminding me of a Monster Hunter Stories village. Nice close-up of the egg hatching here, obviously Monster Hunter Stories 2 vibes and Monster Hunter Stories vibes with the egg hatching in a nest there. But something again from the trailer I do want to mention is I don't think we can just go out and find eggs. I do believe that the egg hatching mechanic is only from breeding our monsters and creating a new form of monster from two parents and then hatching the egg. I don't see anything in the Steam page description about finding eggs, so we will be going over that shortly. So I do think it is just from breeding. Okay, so we've got this monster here. For some reason it gave me Major Steve vibes, aka Regillio. And I don't know if anyone else is feeling that or seeing that themselves, let me know. But it's a cool looking monster nonetheless. I like the design a lot. Okay, so on to about this game. Monster breeding and action RPG explore the world and raise legendary monsters. Volzerk, Monsters and Lands Unknown, the crossbreeding action RPG. Join protagonist Fina on an adventure to discover legendary monsters, raise monsters, join a colourful cast of friends, and face off against powerful enemies. Summary: the island of Fort Lemuria, discovered in a vast ocean. This island's rich landscape was dotted with countless mysterious ruins and inhabited by strange animals known as monsters. Humankind agreed to organise a research commission in order to investigate the island and the monsters that live there. This kind of reminds me of the Scriveners in Monster Hunter Stories 2. Then one day the island guardian Volzerk clashed with the legendary beast known as Magna, and both were apparently destroyed. 10 years have passed since that day. Within the protection of Volzerk, the monsters of the island are in danger of extinction. However, a young girl is about to join the research commission. Her name is Fina, and she is the only human alive who witnessed Volzerk's disappearance. With her obsessive love of monsters, Fina's sole goal in life is to get as close to them as she can, and deep within her heart burns the desire to once again be reunited with Volzerk. Genuine action. Volzerk, Monsters and Lands Unknown is an original action RPG that brings characters and monsters together for epic battles. Totally here for that, really excited about that. Mix and match monsters with different riders to master different skills, make use of different weapon types, and switch out characters at the right time to bring down powerful foes. So it'll be interesting to see what weapon types we do get, and also here it is telling us that we don't actually have to stick to the main character Fina with controls. We can actually switch around teammates, if I'm reading that correctly. Raise monsters. Immerse yourself in a deep monster breeding system. Different characters can impart different abilities to monsters, allowing players to raise the monsters of their choosing. Crossbreed 2 monsters to give birth to a whole new monster, which will inherit its parents' abilities. Raise monsters to fit your own personal playstyle and take down the powerful enemies that stand in your way. You can even crossbreed your monsters with those of your friends. So this is really cool, and it definitely reminds me of the rites of channeling on Monster Hunter Stories, but the only difference here is it looks like it's going to inherit genes from both parents rather than transferring specific genes, which is how it works on Monster Hunter Stories. So that's pretty cool. So maybe if we have a fire and ice monster in this game, we can breed them together and have a child that can use both elemental abilities, which is going to be pretty awesome out in the field. And also it's cool here that you can crossbreed your monsters with those of your friends, so there are online features to this game. I'm not going to read out the music information here. It's on screen if you want to check that out, so feel free to pause the video. Something I do want to point out is this game is free to play. So let's just take all of this with a little bit of a pinch of salt. It will be interesting to see how much in-app purchases are going to be shoved at us in this game. At the end of the day, there are free-to-play games that do this successfully, where it's not shoved in your face all the time and there isn't major gotcha mechanics. So hopefully that's the case. I do have a real interest in this game, and I just hope that it isn't pay to win and forces you to do those in-app purchases. I myself have purchased some cosmetics from Monster Hunter games, so I'm all for supporting the developers, but I do not like pay to win at all. Some system requirements are down there. Not very much is required to run this game. It is a very basic looking game, so I think most PCs are going to handle this pretty darn well. So that was Volzerk. Let me know down below in the comments section what you thought about the trailer and all the information that I shared about the game. Is this one you're going to be keeping your eyes peeled for? Will you be picking it up? Let me know. Hopefully it's not too long to wait for more information about the English release of the game. Personally, I won't be able to play it in Japanese. I have played Monster Hunter games in Japanese before, but that's because I'm used to the mechanics and the icons and stuff, and it's quite easy to navigate most of them in another language, but I wouldn't feel confident doing it with this game. But anyways, I'm definitely going to keep on the lookout for more news on this one. And if you do want me to share more videos like this in the future on this game, let me know in the comments as well. If you like what you saw, don't forget to thumbs up the video and also subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I will be covering a lot of Monster Hunter games in the future, plus monster collecting and taming games. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to have some discussions about this awesome game in the comments section with all of you. Take it easy. Love, 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 and I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Bye-bye!